this is the guy, Rax. This is the guy that you know, we felt really bad for with Diablo Immortal. This, I believe, is the conclusion to the saga. Yeah, I'm excited for it. And let's see what this is here.
Hi everyone, it's Rax bringing you a very important update today. Maxroll has discontinued our Diablo Immortal branch. We're not going to be making any updates, and very soon we're going to be taking down the guides.
Wow.
And this was a team decision that we made, and a lot of thought went into this, and I'd like to give you some background from Maxroll's perspective on exactly how this came about. So the first thing I'm going to start with is a little history lesson on Maxroll, if you'd care to hear it. Otherwise, maybe I'll put timestamps in the video. Okay. You can skip ahead. I use Maxroll for all of my like Lost Ark stuff. They generally have good information. Tell you how Maxroll was formed, and Diablo Immortal was one of the first games that we ever worked on in the series of events that led us to canceling the branch. So let's start by going back, and let's talk about how Maxroll formed. So if I go here and I go to the team page, let's go to management. It all started with this guy right here, Alex. Alex had a vision, and he said, I want to make a website that covers ARPGs and tries to make the best guides on planet Earth. That's what he wanted to do. Alex is a German boy, so he went to Diablo 3, which is a game that he really enjoyed, and he looked at the content creators there for Diablo 3, particularly the German content creators. And he thought they sucked, am I right? And he noticed two very famous ones. If you played Diablo 3, I'm sure you know them. SVR and Rob. Okay. So he talked with SVR and Rob. Oh, he brought them on the team. Theory crafter, and Rob is an Omega blaster. From that game. And they said, let's make Maxroll, let's make the best guides, and they were in. They quickly discovered, okay, we cannot do this by ourselves. We need more help. So we're going to hire 2 more people. We're going to get someone from North America, and we're going to get someone from Europe. So they did some research. I think this could be him. The person we want from North America is me. Damn. And the person that we want from Europe is Udijo. So there we go. We got our team, and here we go. That's badass. So we started working on Diablo 3, and we very, very quickly realized that this is way, way too hard for the amount of people that we had. So they said, all right, who should we get? And I said, let's get my brother, Facefoot. He'd be a super good pick. There you go. He kind of looked at me like, Rax, you want to get your brother on the team? That sounds stupid as hell. It does. He was a professor at a university. He's a very good teacher. He would be amazing for this, and he knows Diablo, I'm telling you. They had an interview with him. They hired him. It's gone very well. So they've got a history with Diablo. We also picked up North War. North War is a huge Omega blaster. He's a Russian troll. He's a super amazing player. Picked up North War, and now we had a really rock-solid team. We picked up Riker not long after that, and of course we picked up Chewie after that, and Chewie's an absolute machine. So what does this have to do with Diablo? And we had been blasting D3 forever. Then we moved to Immortal, and here's where this comes in. So now let's talk about how the timeline went for us on Immortal. So BlizzCon 2018, they announced Immortal. Yeah. You want to know what our feelings were about the announcement? The same as your guys' feelings. We didn't want a phone game. We thought it was really dumb. We wanted Diablo 4, blah, 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 blah. We have the exact same ideas that you have. But everybody thought that. If we're going to make guides, Diablo Immortal is the next game coming out in the Diablo series. This is just like the facts. It's like whenever you cover like any news or like games and stuff like this, there are just certain things that you are expected to cover. And this is one of them. Instantly dismiss. Yeah, people are going to expect for you to cover it. So then the tech alpha was released, and the tech alpha was very, very short, and it essentially just let you log into the game and play it for 2 seconds. Okay. You pretty much could just move around and shoot and just do a dungeon and a challenge rip. That's smart. That's smart. Something very limited. When we got this far, our hopes actually started to rise because the game actually wasn't too bad. You know, it's like, oh, this is a Diablo game. Oh, I can move and shoot now that I'm we're playing on a phone and not the PC beta. And that dungeon was kind of cool. Yeah. Okay, so it's not just this super cheap, shitty phone game. This is better than we thought it was going to be. So now we can at least build our ideas around covering this game, and let's see how it goes.
Okay.
So with that in mind, we were prepared for when they actually released the real alpha to erupt. Okay. So we had a team of myself, Rob, Echo Hack, and my brother, and we dominated, man. Again, I've talked about this in my other videos. We don't need to talk about the same thing. Yeah,
y'all played it like crazy.
Over and over. But the alpha was the best version of the game that we had ever seen.
That's so sad, man. I think another reason why it's so cool to play like alphas and betas for games, the same thing was like with New World, is that you don't know what's going on. There's genuine mystery because everybody's seeing everything for the first time. It's the beta. It comes out, people are like, wait, what the fuck is this? What the fuck is that? You know, that's a big thing.
It was fun. It rewarded gameplay. There was no pay to win. There was no resonance. None of that bullshit. It was made the best person win. Grinding was super rewarding. We did all the zone events. Okay, we've explained this a million times. We spent so much time playing this, and we had so much fun, and we made so many friends that, you know, like we said here, it's the best version of the game we'd ever seen. There was none of this nonsense.
There were no cash shops, no shop or pay-to-win elements, and the game truly rewarded playing to power up. Man, what are these guys thinking, man? What are these guys thinking? Like, that's just, guys, I mean, they pull the sneaky. Yeah, of course they were going to do that.
And we picked up a bunch of people who were also blasting the game to max roll, who became incredible teammates of ours.
Of course.
We had Lexi, Dread, Echo, Greg. And now we had a real full lineup here. And we started to really ramp up our guides because people, you know, were starting to consider us like the top source for Diablo Immortal information like we had been for Diablo 3. So one thing that needs to be said that people have been talking about, and we think it's a fair point, so we put it in the article.
Okay.
People say that all the blasting that you guys did in the alpha, all the spreadsheets that you made, all the hours that you put in.
It's a lot.
It may have actually been used to figure out how to stop the free-to-play players or how to stop progression, you know, to build their pay-to-win.
So they were actually beta testing and figuring out, testing out for Blizzard all the ways that they can stop free-to-play players from actually being good. Holy fuck. That is incredible. Not only are they working for free, but they're working so other people can pay money to beat them. Yeah, they're used as benchmarks. They're like, okay, well, we can't let them get this far because then the whales might lose. I love this. Wow.
And, well, we cannot deny that possibility. Maybe that's exactly what happened. We don't know. We'll never know unless Blizzard tells us. But take our perspective for a second. We're just, the alpha was pretty good, right? Pretty decent. None of that bullshit that is currently in the game.
Yeah, you're going to think it's good.
And, you know, we wanted to try our best, you know.
Sure.
We were honored that we got the chance to test it, and we were trying to advance the game. And then we got the announcement.
Yeah, because you got bait and switched. That's what happens. It is like the game came out, you thought it was really good. The same thing happened with Lost Ark. Think about how much shit Stoops got when Lost Ark came out because of the way that Amazon released the content. Everybody went back and said, yeah, finally an MMO that respects your time. Uh-huh. Man, he was wrong. That's it. Yeah, he got shit on for that.
The game was going to be delayed, and we thought it was going to be even better because of that. But we read on, and let's see how it goes. By the way,
let's see how it goes. I wonder how it's going to go.
Updating the guides here, because we could do a lot more in the alpha. So it took us so many hours to update it, but we're on pace here. Then came the beta. I'll be totally honest with you. This is the section that I played the least. I logged in, I leveled up, and it looked kind of the same to me, and everybody else was blasting, and I was playing Lost Ark, and I had so many other things. I transitioned a while ago. I transitioned out of being on individual teams. I used to lead the Immortal branch. I gave it to Lee, my brother. He led it all the way up until today. And I transitioned out of that role into being more of into helping all of the teams. So help the Lost Ark team, help the
That's
D2
good. It makes
team,
sense.
Help every team. And we'll get started on some other projects here.
This guy does seem like a team player. I mean, fuck, he played on Blizzard's team for years and he didn't even get paid. I mean, it sucks, man.
Things I was doing, I didn't really blast
I'll move
the beta,
Cam down to here.
The rest of my teammates did. And the beta just got worse. It just got worse from the alpha. So first of all, A lot of
you guys can read it.
core problems with the game hadn't been fixed. There was like a 7-month gap here. So we began to grow concerned
here, obviously,
that either maybe our feedback wasn't heard, or the feedback that we gave maybe was a lower priority, but we thought they were pretty major problems.
Yeah.
And then, of course, came monetization.
Of course.
We could see that there was unlimited spending. We could say that legendary gems now gave combat rating. This didn't exist before.
They didn't have that in the closed alpha. Like, Resonance was far too strong, completely parallel. This is the thing, right? Is like, everybody expected this to happen.
Strong, and it was like a completely pay-to-win stat.
Yeah.
The free-to-play experience was out.
Sounds depressed? Yeah, who wouldn't be?
They did improve it.
Of course he is. It sucks.
It's still super terrible. It doesn't help you at all. Still can't get legendary crests. Can't upgrade your stuff. Overall, it's just pound for pound worse. But still, we gave lots of feedback. We still put in the hours to update it, and we're ready for launch.
Good.
Then comes the release, right? And from all the effort that we put in for years and years and years, one extremely disappointing thing here is they made a lot of changes from beta to release, and it made some parts of some of our guides inaccurate. Or let me just
this always happens.
Wizards. We said wizards are.
I've had that happen. Like, I had that happen a lot whenever I made guides for things in beta for like WoW expansions, and then it comes out and it's different, and then people get mad at me because the guide's wrong. It's like one thing that like a website like Maxroll has over a YouTube video is it's easier to like edit Maxroll and say like, oh, okay, this got changed. Let's delete this text and put some other text in instead. But like with YouTube videos, it's just out there, right? And so I got a bunch of shit for that.
Worst because they were the worst. Ask any wizard player to tell you the same thing. And we said things like, the channeling with disintegrate with the ice crystal. It's stupid. It's terrible. Don't use that. It was terrible. Don't use that. But then it got really buffed, and everyone started using it. You're like, why did Maxroll say it was so bad? Well, it was so bad, but it was buffed right before it released, and we didn't have any idea, and so that's why it ended up that way. So there are a lot of things on our site that were very frustrating, that we didn't know that they were going to change, and surprise, they're changed, and now we have to do so much work to fix it. It's just the nature.
I think that's just the nature of the game, and like I don't think you can be mad at the developer for that, because it's like they can't develop the game contextually around people that make guides for it. Like I think it's fair that's the case, right? Yeah, that's fair. Like it's one of those things where like it's frustrating for you whenever you make guides, but it's also like not something like I can empathize with his problem, although I don't think it's a problem the developer needs to solve.
Guides, right?
Anyway,
so it came out.
Like it makes sense for him to be frustrated, though.
All of our worst fears were realized as we wrote. A lot of the issues that we had talked about for a long time had not been fixed. The free-to-play experience was
true
just
and real,
as bad as ever, if not worse.
Very true.
The shop was the same thing from the beta, except it was worse. Now it actually had all these bundles, and some of the bundles actually just directly sold you the 5-star gems. There were more caps and hidden caps, and there was no reason to grind anymore. So one thing about this that maybe is a misrepresentation is we knew all along that in some capacity it was going to be pay to win. You pay money, you get an advantage, you have an advantage, you should win. We understand that. That's how mobile games are. We know that.
Why? Why? Like, who wrote this in the 10 Commandments? Is this a commandment number 11? That mobile games have to be pay to win? Why? There's no reason for this.
The thing that has really, really disheartened us is the severity of it, right? The difference between a free-to-play player and a whale is just so ridiculous that there's really no point in playing if you want to compete in anything.
Yeah.
And we thought, of course, this was Blizzard's opportunity, going back to the alpha again, to put in a year of development, have it be a really awesome game, to be the first mobile game that isn't just infinite pay-to-win nonsense, but that's not what we got.
No, it's the opposite.
So we put in so much time into this branch. I cannot explain to you how hard it is to write a guide. Maybe there are people out there in the comments section that work on websites, you know, that can look at one of these guides here.
It's hard to do. The guides, especially the interactive elements of them, it's not impossible to do. This isn't like next level design, but it does take a lot of work.
Here, let's just pull one up here. Maybe you guys could take a look at one of these and, you know, get a glimpse of how long it takes. Give me 1 second here to pull one up.
Yeah, like this takes a long time.
Guide, pull up a demon.
Like I've done shit like this before.
The overview, why not? You know, I don't even know where to begin. The featured image, you know, how to make this thing and all the socials, how to put the about dread scythe. How, you know, how to structure these, how to put in the spacers, how to color this properly, how to make all of these embeds, then actually embed them all, how to make this line up in the GIF. You know, it's so much work, man.
It is like it takes a while. Like I've done some website design before, and it is time consuming. It does take work.
This with every single skill. This
guy makes huge mistakes. Complaints about struggles on the internet, never ends well. I think that it only doesn't end well for people that are too stupid to understand. Like, there are a lot of people. I think that one of the biggest problems that people have online nowadays is that they can never put themselves in another person's shoes and think about things as if those things were happening to themselves. They only think about them in the context of this happening to another person and knowing all of what they know after the fact. But yeah, it's a lack of empathy. It's like, obviously, like, I think that you can look at anybody's life. This is the reality, right? You can look at my life. I can look at your life, and there will be massive problems that you have in your life that I will be able to solve for you better than you can. And you will be able to solve my massive problems better than I can. But that doesn't mean that these things are just as simple. Like, for example, there are some people, man, like, I'm having trouble getting a girlfriend. Okay, well then just, you know, start working out and, you know, develop interests. I think if you do that, that's going to really help you out a lot. It is. It's very easy to say something, but you don't really understand what somebody's going through, what's happening to them, right? Yeah. And, yeah, develop interests. That's what it is. Empathize, but their CMS is like trash. I don't know about that. And all I'm saying, it's hard to see your own problems, but it's easier to see other people's problems. Yeah, exactly. Like, the person liked the game. Like, I know that there's, like, some value, and this is what a lot of people on the internet do, is that I do think that, like, people online, there's a group of them, or a subset of people online that have a certain level of, like, I don't know, resentment towards people that make money online. So whenever somebody complains about, like, being mistreated online for some degree of commercial reason, they don't care about that because they don't think it's real. They don't respect it. And I think that's stupid. To be honest with you, I think it's stupid.
Get it, the cooldown, what the charms give you, what type it is. I think you could understand. We have, I think, there's
decent money in general. Yeah,
guides on Diablo Immortal branch. 180.
That's a lot. Yeah, that's insane. Somebody in chat said hard to have fucking what do you call it? Hard to feel empathy for a person who's a victim Andy. How's he a victim Andy? So he liked the game a lot, and then the game misrepresented what it was and changed a lot. It's not hard to see how somebody would be disappointed in this circumstance. This is not unreasonable to see that somebody would be disappointed that they thought they were getting A and they got B. Yeah. I mean, this is not like victim Andy. Like it's yeah, he's unhappy about his situation. Like, obviously he's unhappy about it. Like, there's like, duh. It's weird.
It was only because of the tremendous work of our team. Only because of Lee's work, Rob's work, Lexi's, Echo Hacks, Dread's, Greg. I was on the team, and Woody. Woody helped as well a lot. Thank you guys. Thanks for all your godly work. We really appreciate it. So we go in. Why did we decide to do this? Well, we don't do it lightly. The number one thing is by far the biggest reason, and it's something that we talked about a lot, is, you know, just the pay to win aspect. But we take a little bit of a sense of responsibility, especially with like the gambling addictions. We saw actually a couple of times on our streams, and we have to take these comments.
Bro, like, as I said, do y'all remember that fucking comment that I showed you guys? Do y'all remember that fucking comment? Let me see. I'll show y'all this shit one more time. Give me 1 sec. I'll pull it up, and you guys can see what it really is. This is a picture. I literally saw this shit. Yo, don't tell my wife, but I just dropped 5K. Let's get them 5 stars. I saw this shit, and I was like, wait a minute. Oh my God, $5,000. Like, and it's like, you could say like 100, 200 bucks, like whatever, right? 5K? Holy shit, man. That's a lot of goddamn money. Tell which wife? Yeah, true. Speedrunning divorce. Yeah, you'll probably get that faster than a 5-star gem. All I'm saying is that I think another big reason why I, like, if I was Maxroll, I would also discontinue Diablo Immortal. I would do it primarily because most people that play mobile games don't look up guides for them. They just play mobile games. Almost all mobile game content creators are not that popular. There's not that big of an audience for it because it's not an endemic audience. It's, for example, yeah, it is. It's true, absolutely. And why are you throwing him under the bus? I'm not throwing anybody under the bus. I'm just saying, like, this is a big reason, right? It's not financially viable to invest that much time into a game with such a small audience of people that are endemically playing it on PC, which will increase the chance that they're going to go to your website to look stuff up. Right, that's what it is. They're pretty popular in Asia. Yeah, but they might not have Asian support, or they might not have everything, translated properly.
Seriously, where somebody said, hey, Rax, don't tell my wife. I couldn't help myself. I just plugged another $1,000. Let's roll those crests. And you have to take those comments seriously. And
was he watching whenever I was? Did he see this? No fucking way. Oh my God, man. Like, stage pre-watched? Apparently it was. Holy fucking shit. I gotta hear it again.
Saw actually a couple of times on our streams, and we have to take these comments seriously, where somebody said, hey, Rax, don't tell my wife. I couldn't help myself. I just plugged another $1,000. Let's roll those crests. And you have to take those comments seriously. And, it's really not something to joke about at all.
Wow.
Gambling can really ruin lives.
Do you know what the best part about this is? It was probably 2 completely different people. What do you think? This only happened once?
That is never something that you want to read, and something we take very seriously. It's the thing that we talked about the most. And are we part of the problem? Are we part of the problem for streaming it? Are we part of the problem for making guides on it? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And ultimately, we said, yes, we will be a part of the problem unless we back out. And, we take, at least I do, and I think everybody does, I take tremendous pride in being a part of this website and trying our best all the time and trying to do the right thing. And I think if we continue to update this game and pretend like this isn't a problem, then we are part of the problem. So we're going to cancel this before even the first update, and we'll get to that in a second. Second reason is probably pretty obvious: the disengagement and the response from the community. It's been overwhelmingly negative, right? And a lot of the reasons that we're disengaged, we're blasters, is because we are a little bit surprised at how some of the things were released after a lot of the testing and feedback. And by the way, it's not just Maxroll. It's not just us.
Did you not play WoW? Like, there were things that were broken in beta for BFA, and they didn't get fixed until, like, the end of the expansion. Like, this is just, yeah, they listen to feedback if they want to, but if something's broken in the game, unless a lot of people complain about it, or unless it helps people farm a fucking, some time-wasting system faster, it's not going to get fixed.
there were a lot of other fantastic content creators who were testing and leaving feedback as well. We're not the end-all, be-all, right? But it's very surprising. The unrewarding gameplay that has to do with the caps, and there's nothing to do, and you log in and you just do, you know, your faction dailies and yada yada yada. And yeah, I mean, what's the motivation to log in? I haven't logged in in like 4 or 5 days, not one time. I was planning to do my
guy. It's good. It's smart. I think that, like, so I contrast this kind of with New World, for example, and I think a lot of people, one thing that a game really, that it's like really toxic and bad for a game is if it creates resentment. Because it's one thing if a game just pisses people off, but it's another thing if the game actually creates resentment. People actively dislike the game. That's what happened with New World. That's what happened with Diablo Immortal. And I think for a lot of people, that's what happened with WoW. And it's like you have that happen fundamentally. Fundamentally, why does this happen? It happens on a fundamental level because of a lack of respect. The developer does not respect the player's time. The developer wastes the player's time. They don't care about the investment that people have. They don't listen. And yeah, that's what it is. And then once that resentment sets in, it's really, really hard to get away from it. Because, for example, like with Dragonflight, I feel like if Shadowlands got announced, if Dragonflight got announced instead of Shadowlands, people would be like, okay, cool, right? They wouldn't have really given a shit. Like the way that people feel about it is completely contextual around like what's happened in the past. A lot of people are super negative about Dragonflight whenever it came out, and I thought it was good. Like McConnell and I thought it were great. And like people are making all these memes of like, again, of like me and McConnell pointing at the Dragonflight picture as like some fucking soy jack meme because we like the fucking game. That didn't happen with Shadowlands.
I don't even do that anymore. Don't even log in. I quit the Immortals, by the way. By the way, being a Shadow is better than the Immortals. And we said that, I think, in the alpha and the beta. And still on launch, it's better to be a Shadow. I mean, the whole point is to try to win the Immortals, right? That's the whole point of the game. It should be way better than being a Shadow, but oh well, whatever.
Yeah, I had no idea
money
about
is in everything. Even with all the bad publicity that Immortal has, if we kept our Immortal branch going, it would generate revenue from Maxwell. Just to let you know.
It would decline, no. I think that it would decline, and also the amount of money and time that you have to spend into it. It's also an opportunity cost. So, like, for example, if you have 10 people working on Diablo Immortal and it's making $100, is that better than having, 10 people work on, I don't know, like fucking Final Fantasy guides or something like that and make $1,000? There's always a degree of like opportunity cost, because it's no secret that Diablo Immortal has pretty much died. Like it's pretty much died on Twitch. Like all content about the game, except if the content's bad about the game. Like I'm scrolling down seeing if I can find like where is Diablo Immortal on Twitch. It's at 2.5k viewers. That's it. Yeah, it's at 2.5k viewers, and I think the only person who's putting it up that high is somebody who already has like a large audience to begin with. It's not because of the game. So yeah, it's a way nobody gives a shit. Good for Maxwell, didn't have to do this. Yeah, so it doesn't make a difference. It's not a value for them to do this because they can invest their time into other things. And also, the more that you invest into Diablo Immortal, it's an opportunity cost.
So
JT's trying.
We're not just going through money, we're trying to do the right thing. Stick to our core values, and we're walking away from all the work that we did, the time, the missed events from our family and obligations. We meet every Saturday for at least an hour or two on every single team. Lost Ark, Immortal, D3, D2, whatever we do in the future. PoE, if we do last
That's what they should do, man. Like, you guys should just do PoE guides. Like, yeah, just do PoE guides. Just get involved with that. Like, if they want me to give them names, I can give them plenty of fucking names that are good. Like, yeah, do PoE. Yeah, Path of Exile. The thing is, I think that Path of Exile 2 is going to be fucking huge. I do. I think it's going to be a fucking huge game. And it will probably be bigger than Diablo 4. I think so. Actually, maybe I'm wrong about that, because Diablo 4 is going to just have so much more ease of access. Like, I think that, like, for hardcore PC gamers, PoE 2 is going to completely overshadow Diablo 4. However, I do think that, like, yeah, you're probably right. Maybe there's going to be a lot of those, you know, couch gamers that play Diablo 4 more because it's just easier and more accessible. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. It's not a bad thing. Like, Gauntlet was throwing a fucking axe. You're just throwing a fucking axe the whole time. Red Wizard shot the food. There's nothing else really going on.
We do Diablo 4, whatever it is. We have a team, and we meet weekly to discuss how do we make these guides? How are we progressing? How do we come together as a team to get this all done? It's a lot of work, and we're just saying goodbye, and we're even giving up our future earnings. So.
Opportunity cost. No, you're not.
One key thing that I said we would get to, and here
I'm not saying he's lying. I'm saying no, you're not. In a way, like, you're not losing those earnings because now you can invest it into something that's better. Like, all of that time and effort and management, like, just like that decision-making time, that mental energy, all of that can be invested into something that has a better rate of return and is also simultaneously not a piece of shit.
Is lack of remedy. So we asked ourselves, what would it take for us to reopen this branch? We're not going to delete our guides.
The work was done. They'll change shit all the time.
But aside from everything, we need the infinite pay-to-win system to be gone to fix, you know, problem number one, this gambling thing. And we need free-to-play players to actually have, you know, a chance in the game and have some fun. But we don't envision Blizzard being able to implement something like this, you know, because of the current economic model. You know, let's say that they normalized PvP. I said it's fair for everyone now. Do you want to come play?
What idiot would do that?
Well, I don't think they will do that because now the whales can charge back all of their money, right? That seems like a fair reason for them to ask for all their money back. Is Blizzard going to give all the money back? I doubt it. Are they going to...
I wish there was a law that the company was legally obligated to refund all of the money that somebody wanted spent in one of these games before a 30 or a 60-day period. Like an absolute full refund. Because don't say that, yeah, and you just say a campaign, and then everybody would drop $50,000, fucking refunded on day 25, and just everybody quit the game. It would completely ruin the payment model. I would love to see that shit happen. Law against stupidity? Yeah, I think that'd be hilarious, man. Refund 80% or something? Nope, 100%. There's no value in it at all. It's just all theoretical. It's percentage-wise. There's no loss of work or effort. This is all an automated machine. That's it.
Put up a free-to-play server? No, because that would destroy the ecosystem,
yeah,
right? Whales and the ecosystem swim around and need to eat the minnows and the plankton. If the minnows and the plankton go to the free-to-play server, who are the whales going to beat up on, right? We don't think a remedy is possible that would fix this.
Well, the remedy, here's what Blizzard could do. Blizzard could come out and they could say, listen, we know that this game is obviously pay to win, and we're going to make new servers that aren't pay to win, that don't have any resonance or anything like that on them, that function the way that the alpha functioned. They could do that. There's no reason for them not to do that. Now, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen, but theoretically this could happen.
So one thing about shutting this down is we are going to keep our guides up for a little bit because we care about you guys. If you guys have some guides that were really helping you, we don't just want to pull the plug and say that you can't read them.
Yeah.
Go ahead and read them. Copy the information if you want. Don't worry about it. And one thing that I want to mention about this,
that's fair. That's smart.
There were some people that came into my stream and other streams and have said some things on the internet that said, Rax, I can't believe you and your team copied this other site's guide. It's word for word the same guide. I can't.
Oh my God. Valti's back at it again? I haven't heard about that guy in years. Oh my God. He's back out for revenge. Holy shit. I want to say, though, we can meme about Valti, My understanding is Vaulty is into cryptocurrency now. He's living his best life, and he's past all this shit, right? Like, does anybody actually know this? He's past all this shit? Yeah, of course. I think, yeah, good for him. Good for him. I hope he does well. Yeah, he was a bit of an idiot to me. I think so. And, you know, like, I don't think he's a malicious person. Like, this person didn't really have it out for me in a way. They were just a dumbass. Yeah, I hope he does fine. I got nothing wrong with him. Like, like, we can meme about it a little bit, but like, there's no actual animosity.
I can't believe that you did that. I can't tell you how offensive that is to me. We had a team. Here they are. You see their faces. You see them streaming. You can talk to them on Discord. You can ask them whatever questions you want. They'll prove to you that they know this game. That worked on this for 2 years. We wrote those spreadsheets. We wrote those Word docs. We met every Saturday.
This guy, we watched him.
Over and over and over. And if you think we did all of that to just copy some other site's guide and claim it as our own, I find that offensive. There's no way you actually believe that, right? Please tell me that that was just a joke. It's very offensive to all these people that have put so much time into trying to make these guides as good as we can for you. So
don't tell people that. Then they're just going to keep doing that to make you mad. As I said before, the internet is like chickens. Whenever one chicken starts bleeding, the other chicken pick the bleeding chicken until it's dead. Peck the bleeding chicken until it's dead. The way you do that, and the way you avoid that online, never bleed. Never bleed. Never let people know what really bothers you. Never do that. Like, if it really pisses you off, don't do it.
Please don't say that, guys. And
never show weakness.
True.
Yeah, never.
All of our work is our own original work.
I made that
every
mistake.
Single branch. And in the event that we would ever use content from somebody else's guide, we would always ask them permission and credit them. We have done that in the past. I can show you an example on the D3 section that we worked on. But
the thing is, like, everybody steals everybody's shit. Like, whenever I used to make YouTube guides, I would come out with a guide, and then, like, 5 other people would come out like, wow, look, I just found this spot the other day for, like, gold farming. It's crazy. And, like, you can look at the dates on the guide. My guide came out, like, 2 weeks before then. People just steal my shit all the time. It's just what happens. Yeah, they're not going to stop. They're never going to stop.
Our work is our own. It's a critical core value of ours. We're never going to copy anything from any site.
Thank you.
Well, Rax, why are the guides the same? I'll let you figure that one out. You're smart. You can figure it out.
What was that again? Sorry, I was talking.
Core value of ours. We're never going to copy anything from any site. Well, Rax, why are the guides the same? I'll let you figure that one out.
It's because they copied Max Roll. That's what everybody does. Yeah. It's like there's one website that does it well, and then everybody else does the exact same thing. They take the information, they copy-paste it over, and then they add a few changes. It's like can I borrow your work? Yeah, sure, but just don't make it look too similar. And it's like, yeah, a few words are different, and, you know, there's just a few other things. Yeah, skills are skills. Yeah, I mean, come on. And also, like, you have to keep in mind that there is a best in slot. So if you play the game long enough, everybody will arrive at that same conclusion. It's like if you have 4 quarters and you realize that putting 4 quarters together makes $1, and then somebody else realizes that after you, well, maybe they didn't copy you, they just saw this.
You're smart. You can figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
One thing that I should say, in case anybody's worried about this, if you're worried about
50
this,
subs. Holy shit, man! Thank you very much.
Is our team fully on board with this, right? We made this decision
Thank you so much.
Together. We did all this work together. We did all these guides together. Had a huge meeting. We discussed it for like 3 hours last Saturday on exactly what we should do. We've grown pretty close, man. Everybody on Maxwell, I would like to think we're a pretty tight knit bunch. I know a lot about these guys from working with them for 2 years, and the D3 team is fantastic. The Diablo 2 team is fantastic. Haven't gotten to work with them as much, but I got to play with them a lot going for the world record. So love the D2 team. The Lost Ark team has just dominated, man. These guys have done so well. I'm so proud of them.
They actually really have. Like, there were a few fuck-ups with certain Mokoko seeds at the beginning of the release, But the truth is, like, I went to other websites, and Maxroll was the best website. It was the most interactive. It was the most intuitive and easy to understand, easy to navigate. It was very well designed.
The Lost Ark branch, Path of Exile is coming soon. Get ready for that, guys. We're going to try to take a very complicated game and make it digestible for you. Don't sit there and think like, oh, Maxroll is an entity.
I actually don't think that PoE builds are that complicated whenever they're explained by somebody who understands them, who can explain them in few words.
Swept the rug out from these poor content creators, and they took all their work and then just quit on them. That's not what happened. We made the decision together. I openly invite you. Reach out to any of our teammates and ask them how it went. Maybe they'll make videos as well. So now we look to the future. Maxroll will continue. We're going to continue dominating. Diablo 3 is going to come out Season 27. We'll cover it in full. Again, we're launching Path of Exile coming. We're thinking about some other titles as well. Let's see what other ones are looking promising coming forward. And we really appreciate you guys. And I hope that this decision is well received by you guys. But I guess the internet will tell us very soon what you guys think. Please let me know in the comments. What do you think? I will read it.
Thanks, Snuggy, for 10 subs.
I got to be honest, man. I'm very, very disappointed, man. I'm just so disappointed in the game.
I'm not. As I said, I mean, like, we've talked about this. We've beat this subject to death. But like, I'm not. I think everybody expected this.
I plan on playing the game. But you can see
why. You can see why he'd think that.
I plan on making a lot of guides for this game. I plan on working for
they're not going to make Diablo Immortal content anymore.
And we thought this was going to be a game that was going to get the most updates of any game, and it was going to actually require pretty much the most manpower, female power. I don't want to alienate genders here. The most power to keep it rolling, but no. Instead, we're closing.
Because you know somebody would say that, you know.
Again, we knew it was going to be pay to win.
People power. What about other kin?
You know, in the Matrix, not like this, not like this. Anyway, that's it. So, Maxroll's done with Diablo Immortal. What do you think? That was a little bit of a background. See you in the next one, guys.
This is, bro. Somebody said in the chat, this is gonna be you after 3 months of Dragonflight. That's, oh man, that's really, ain't that just a little bit of something? Holy fuck, that's too real. I hope it's not. But like, honestly, like, yeah, I'll be disappointed because like WoW's my favorite game, you know? Like, I love WoW. I always have loved WoW. I'm always gonna love WoW. I'm a big fan of WoW. But the fact is, man, some shit happens. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you get got. That's life, man. Let me go ahead and link it to you guys. Yeah, it just sucks, man. But I feel bad for the guy, right? I mean, you get yourself put in this position, you get excited for something that's gonna go well for you, and then it just fucking falls apart, and nobody gives a shit, and it just gets worse, and people are pissed off. New WoW video? What's the new WoW video? When's the AOC video? Guys, there are so many fucking videos that I have to watch today, and we're going to do the Cuphead DLC after the Ashes of Creation update. That's the plan. Rex, thank you in chat. Yeah, give the guy a sub. Give him some support. I mean, these videos are fucking great. And like, again, this comes from a place of passion. This guy was passionate about the game. And like, even if you think that like, oh yeah, he's wrong, he shouldn't have thought this, like, yeah, whatever, right? But like, he's still trying to do a good thing, and it doesn't seem like this person is malicious.